every 4 years, the best sporting event in the world comes together, and the whole world aims it for a full month. Everyone gets distracted, everyone gets full on invested in the World Cup. And for some reason out of my power, Qatar won it. And instead of being during the summer when we usually do it, it's gonna be in December. But still, I'm not gonna complain about the World Cup and a full month of football. Hopefully, it's just the same quality as the Euros. If you're excited, leave a comment down below, drop a like. But without further ado, let's do our predictions. So, the website that I'm using is the Telegraph. You can actually Google it. It's just World Cup 2022 simulator, and you're gonna be able to just jump right straight into it and do it like me. But just to give you a quick tutorial, if you've never done a World Cup predictor, basically you just pick the teams that you think are gonna go through, and then so be it, la 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 la, right? And then right here starts putting it for you in the round of 16, the quarterfinals, semifinals, so on. So let me just refresh the page right here, and let's go group by group. Let's have an idea what we're gonna be working with, and let's make our way down to our predictions. Of course, I already did my predictions of who I think are the favorites and who I think it's gonna win. If you haven't seen that video, just go on my TikTok, link down below. But I predicted that France will win. Do I think that's still the case after I see the groups and everything? I did that before the groups were assigned, so now this is the first time I'm fully gonna do it with you in my train of thought on the video. So let's see, would I keep France winning? I don't know, because it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard. Now, Group A: Qatar, Ecuador, Senegal, Netherlands. If I'm honest, Netherlands has been out of the World Cup for way too long. Senegal is one of the best African teams in the world. Ecuador is a South American. They happen to get in the World Cup. I'm not gonna lie. And then Qatar. If I'm honest, this is how the group is gonna go. I hope Qatar gets not a single point, because legitimate Qatar, there's no reason besides money that they got the World Cup. Ecuador, like I said, they're all right. I don't see how or way that they are gonna be able to beat Senegal and Netherlands for a position for the next round. But that's me. Let me know in the comments if you disagree. Group B. Now, this one might get a little bit controversial, right? Because I feel England, full and through, they're going to go first just because they have way too much talent. Now, I feel this is going to happen for one reason only. Not because the United States, it's going to be miles clear from Wales and Iran. It's because Gareth Bale is no longer in Europe. When you see him play with LAFC, he doesn't seem fully on. He comes off the bench and he's not getting that much time. And Wells Bell is a different kind of breed. But what does it tell you? That the fact that he's getting older, he's not getting that much time, that much PT, he will be able to do what he was doing with Real Madrid. Like, he was coming off the bench and getting time, but since he was young, he still had that explosiveness and everything. Now in LA, is he really putting the time in just like he did before, and will he be able to show out in with Wales like he did before? In my mind, I don't think so. I think USA will come through. Iran is gonna be dead bottom just because it's Iran. Like, I don't expect too much from them, and they might even get a tie out of England, which will be insane. But this is what I think it's gonna happen: England, USA, Wales, Iran. Group C, we're talking Argentina, Saudi Arabia, Mexico, and Poland. I feel this is possible right here. Argentina is gonna go first no matter what. They're way too talented. They're way too stacked. But I feel Mexico, even though a lot of my Mexican friends and a lot of the Mexican creators that I've seen, they're very pessimist and they're like, "Oh no, bro! Like, we suck this year and everything. Like, we're not gonna go through. Like, I'm not excited." Like the Laddie's Foodie Show or the Lads Foodie Show. That's one of the channels that I follow for podcasts. They're all Mexican and they're all saying like they don't feel that comfortable about it. But I do. Like, I see it from the outside in, and I'm like, Mexico is really good. Like, you guys have talent. You just, like, you guys can do it. Like, Poland, yeah, it's a good team, but they only have Lewandowski and another odd ones out there. But overall, Mexico as a team, as a unit, I feel like they can give the surprise and go second. Argentina's gonna go first, and then Saudi Arabia, Saudi Arabia. I'm not expecting too much of that from them anywhere. The same thing as Iran. Group D. France, Australia, Denmark, and Tunisia. I feel this is probably what's gonna happen. France, Tunisia. There we go. I feel like this is gonna happen. I feel France is gonna go first because even though the World Cup winner curse is always a thing, we never had a competition in World Cup during December, so that might be an advantage for France, and also the fact that Denmark has Christian Eriksen and everything, and I think Tunisia is a good nation, and Australia is just gonna be there. This is too easy in a sense. No disrespect to Tunisia and Australia and Denmark, for France not to go through. Even if this was to happen, it's a possibility. But I'm seeing them go first, and then Denmark second with Christian Eriksen just doing a carry job for another tournament before he retires. And the way that he's playing with Manchester United, I wouldn't be surprised. Group E: Spain, Costa Rica, Germany, and Japan. This group actually should be straightforward. It should be Spain, Germany, and Japan, Costa Rica. Costa Rica is not really. They didn't do that good during the qualifier, so I don't see how or a way that they could be like here competing, like even the surprise like they did with England, Germany, and Uruguay. I forget what that group was, but it was an insane group, and they went first. But if I'm honest, we could see this, we could see that, we could see this. I'm feeling more comfortable with Spain going first and Germany second, and Japan just barely missing out. Like this right here, it's gonna be crazy. And if it's this, it's gonna be crazy. Like it's gonna be super close. I just feel Spain is gonna go through. They have more experience and everything. Germany is gonna be very very nice. Keep an eye out for that. But overall, I feel like this is how it's gonna go. Then Belgium, Canada, Morocco, and Croatia. Mm, mm, mm. I'm looking at it like that, and it makes sense because Croatia, they're old. The players that was there, they're not there anymore from the 2018 final. Belgium is good, very good. They have Kevin De Bruyne, Eden Hazard when he plays for Belgium is a different beast. Lukaku might be back on form. It's just that for some reason I'm feeling this a lot. I'm feeling Canada second. I think Croatia just barely missing out, just because, like I said, I don't think an old Modric can keep up with it, do a carry job, and there's no Rakitic to be next to him, and Kovacic might be able to do the support that they need. You could even see this. You could even see this right here because Morocco is good. But I think I'm gonna stand with my guns, and I'm gonna say Belgium Croatia, even though if Canada goes through a second, don't tell me I did not predict it because I'm saying Croatia should be the logical. This is what my head is telling me, but I'm just keep looking at Canada. I'm like Canada can go through, can give the surprise because freaking David Alfonso Davis and then the other Canadian guy that I forget what his name is. They're all so good, and they went unbeaten on the qualifiers. But I'm gonna say Croatia does it. Then Group G for Brazil, Serbia, Switzerland, Cameroon. I'm feeling Brazil, Serbia, Switzerland, Cameroon is gonna be it. Switzerland could sneak in on me, but I feel Serbia with Mitrovic, with the way Mitrovic is playing in the Prem. Boy, I would be surprised if he doesn't do it. I would be surprised if he doesn't score at least a goal a game or at least one goal, and that puts them at second because Brazil is not gonna lose a game in this group. They just simply aren't. So in Cameroon, even though they're very strong, they're very good. I don't think they're gonna have the power gun to like do anything here. So I'm gonna go with this group. Then Group H, arguably the group of death. This is the hardest group because there's so many combinations here and they're so like close together that we don't know. I feel Ghana, even though I love them, they're gonna be last. South Korea could give the surprise and sneak in of second, but Uruguay and Portugal should go through. This could happen. But I feel Portugal is just way too much of a dark horse and has way too much gunpowder and a very strong midfield and defense. And on top of that, they have Cristiano Ronaldo, who in tournaments, in big tournaments, we know how good he is, regardless that he's gonna be 37 in that tournament. And then Uruguay, with the way I've seen Darwin Nunez play, I'm actually worried for them. But then they have Fede Valverde behind him, and the way that he's been playing, he could make up for that. So I would say Portugal, Uruguay, South Korea, and Ghana. For now, those are my groups and those are my ideas. If you made it so far in this video, and you like my content and you like the predictions, make sure to subscribe, drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and follow all my socials down there. TikTok is the main thing that I do. If you're from TikTok, let me know in the comments. Follow Instagram and Twitter. It really helps me out. It really goes a long way. I'm trying to be a full-time creator by the end of the year or by the end of next year. So anything that you do, support me for free. It's great. Now, round of 16. Let's see. Netherlands, USA. You guys are gonna kill me because I'm feeling USA. Because keep in mind, this is a one play, one game. All it takes, who goes through. 10 times out of 10, or 9 times out of 10, Netherlands wins. But that one time USA wins it, I feel it could be the World Cup. I feel like it could be just because Netherlands is just coming back from not being in the World Cup, from being frauds basically, from being a letdown for their country, and they're coming back and the pressure's on them, but like going through to the round of 16 is expected for them and everything. Meanwhile, the USA getting out as the second, going above freaking with England, above Wales and everything. Dude, like they're gonna be on such a high and such a momentum that I could see it being the surprise. So I'm gonna go with my gut. I feel USA will beat Netherlands and go through the next round. Then Argentina versus Denmark. Messi and Co to do it, or Christian Eriksen pulls the miracle and the dream team from the Euro still alive. I'm gonna say Argentina is too much for them. This could be like a 2-1, even a 2-0 game in Argentina, or even overtime and going to penalties, which at that point is just a draw of the luck. But I feel Argentina will get the business done. England, Senegal should be England. If I'm honest, I don't see a way that Senegal gives the surprise, even though they're a very strong team. They beat Egypt to qualify to the World Cup, but Egypt is also a team that like it's all right. Mane might be give the surprise, but Kane, Sterling, Mount, Foden, Grealish, Sancho, Walker. The team is too heavy for them to not pull through against Senegal. And England, after the Euros, they already have a pedigree. They already have an idea of like, okay, like we can do it. We can make it to a final. So a team like Senegal in a round of 16 should be, like they should go through. They should like have like a 1-0 convincing win, 2-0 convincing win, and a 3-1 convincing win. Like it would be like a control game, regardless of the result. France, Mexico. France, Mexico. Do I have to explain myself for this one? Like, I don't see a way Mexico wins it besides just they performed like they did against Netherlands back in 2010. But even then, or 2014, which one was it? No era penal. I think it's 2010 because of that one, Robin was still in there. So it might have been 2010. But, like, regardless, unless they perform to that level, France will be too much for them. I don't see a way that they can go past Varane, Kunde, Loris, and then in midfield having Kante, Pogba, if he's fully fit and back, Chouameni and Camavinga, bro. Like, it's going to be insane. No? Like, I don't think they have the ways and means to do it. Spain, Croatia. I feel like here's where the Croatia dream, or Canada, if it happens to be Canada, the dream is over because it's gonna be the Spain midfield is gonna be too strong for Croatia to do it. Even if Modric drops a masterclass, he won't have the support to do it. And Spain is just too complete. So I feel like that will be the end of it. Brazil, Uruguay. Now that's a game. That's a fantastic game right there. I would say Brazil. I would say Brazil. Like, there's not really too much. It's just I'm thinking Fede Valverde might pull the surprise and everything might play fantastic. But Vinicius, Neymar, Gabriel Jesus, Anthony, they should. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a lot of goals on this game, like a 3-2, 3-3-2 overtime, a 3-1. Even if Uruguay gives the surprise, like Uruguay will give the surprise by winning by a 2-1 or a 1-0. Meanwhile, if Brazil wins, it's gonna be by a lot of goals. So keep an eye on this game if it happens. Belgium versus Germany. This is a nice game. This is a nice game. I think Belgium just gets defeated by the power of Germany at this point. If Cross was there, Germany would be one of my favorites. But what do you expect? Kevin De Bruyne and Co to be able to overpower the machine that Germany is? Not really. It's basically Belgium versus Bayern Munich. And if Bayern picks up, even though they've been slacking right now, if they pick up their pace, Germany is gonna be very strong, very very strong. So I'm gonna say Germany goes through. Portugal, Serbia. If you followed the qualifiers, you know that Portugal and Serbia. The only reason why Portugal went into the playoff system is because Serbia, Cristiano scored a goal and it was ruled offside, or it was ruled that the ball didn't go through. Even though there's thousands of pictures that show like the ball fully went through, they just didn't call it because VAR is not a thing in that stadium. They didn't have the technology for it. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Portugal team just goes full out and reminds them of it. There also could be the other side of the coin that Serbia just like, hey, you guys remember how we beat you in the very last game of the qualifiers? We're gonna do it again. But this is a tournament. This is a round of 16 of the World Cup. Big teams and big players show out when they need to show out, and this is gonna be a Portugal game. I feel it. Now, USA versus Argentina, Spain versus Brazil, England versus France, Germany versus Portugal. My lord, these are good matchups. These are fantastic matchups. The only one that I think it's a clear favorite, it's gonna be Argentina versus USA, just because I feel like USA, regardless of the momentum that I mentioned on this game right here, this is Netherlands. They're coming back to a World Cup. This is Argentina. They were in the final at 2008, 2014 World Cup. 2018 they got defeated by the champions, and now they're coming back with a possible last final for, or last World Cup for Messi and everything. Regardless of the momentum that USA has, Argentina will more than likely win it. Brazil versus Spain. I'm gonna pick Brazil just because I want Vinicius to score and dance on them. Because you gotta keep in mind that like with the narrative and the story and everything that's going now with Brazil and Vinicius in Spain, he will become a villain. Yeah. That's what happened with Ronaldo back in 2008. Was it? No, 2006, when he had the issue with England and getting Rooney sent off and everything. It's just like perfect for the arc. Um, Overall, I think Brazil will beat them anyways, because I feel like the power up front of Brazil is gonna be way too much for Spain. Even if they get to keep the ball, Brazil can play the counter, and it's gonna be too much. De Gea is a liability. Even if Asenjo is the starter, or the other goalkeeper from Athletic, I think it is the starter from Spain. It's gonna be too strong. It's gonna be too many people at the same time. You're talking about Vinicius, Gabriel Jesus, Anthony, Rafinha. Who else? Vinicius, Gabriel Jesus, Rafinha, Anthony Richarlison, and many more. Lucas Paqueta. Then we have Fabinho, Casemiro, and everything in the midfield. It's just like they're gonna get like a couple chances and they're gonna capitalize on it, because Brazil is doing really good. Brazilian players are doing really good right now. So I could easily see this game, Laporta and Eric Garcia just having issues keeping up. So yeah, Brazil is probably gonna win like a 2-0, I'm gonna say, that game. England, France. This is a fantastic matchup. I'm gonna say France, just because I don't see how Sterling, Kane, and Sancho, Grealish, or Rashford beat Varane, Kunde, Loris, Lucas Hernandez, Chouameni, Pogba if he's back, Kante with France is just a different animal. And then up front, they're gonna have Nkunku, Benzema, Griezmann, Mbappe. Yeah, no, France should win this game. If England wins this game, I will be very surprised. I will be very surprised, because I don't see a way that England mentally goes over that hurdle. Because you're talking about the reason why they did so well in the Euros is because they were at home. Pretty much every game was in England. So every time they played, they were the favorites and the home favorites. So every time they had the crowd against them. What do they do when it's a neutral side? When it's 50-50 in French, which are loud, they're loud. They go up, and they're not able to like fight the crowd back again. I feel like France will be too much for them. Then Germany, Portugal. If they had Cross, I would say Germany on a beat, because Cross will kill that game so fast that Portugal will not be able to control the tempo. But the fact that it's probably more than likely Goretzka and Kimmich in the midfield. Let me check where is it? Let me check Germany's last game. I just want to see their last lineup. Germany. I want to see who okay, against Italy in the final. It was Kimmich, Gundogan, and Mueller. I don't see a way that they're able to, like, if Cross was there and Hoffman, who's playing the right mid, wasn't playing, I would say that Germany will probably find a way to like disturb Portugal. But the fact that Portugal is okay playing in the counter and Portugal is playing good if they have the ball. Meanwhile, Germany will need to find a way of like finding the tempo to have the ball for most of the game, and two, to break down the defense of Ruben Diaz, Pepe, who's still playing to this day, Rui Patricio, who's playing in a fantastic role, and then Joao Cancelo on top of it, and then Pereira, the CDM with Renato Sanches, and on the breakdown creatively, you're gonna have Bruno Fernandes, Bernardo Silva, Cristiano Ronaldo top just to be the poacher, Joao Felix. Bro, yeah, no, Portugal might like should win this game. Looking at everything, if Germany doesn't play because Portugal doesn't need to play the perfect game, they just need to play their game and have chances. Germany has to play the perfect game so Portugal doesn't have chances. You know what I'm saying? Like that's really my train of thought. Because it's like Barca versus Real Madrid, like in the Copa del Rey in that final. Barcelona had to play the perfect game and score the chances that they got. Meanwhile, Madrid just had to hold off the whole time and just get those two chances and have a player like Ronaldo score the final killer goal because it was a 1-0 win, I'm pretty sure. And all it took is one goal. And since this is a one game elimination, a knockout stage, that's all he needs. And I'm gonna go with the most experienced because again, Royce is gonna be injured. Mueller is always there, but like Mueller, even though this is the World Cup and everything, what do I expect? Do I expect Mueller to be the one that controls it? If Royce wasn't injured, I would edge it to Germany. But I feel like this game is tailored for a Portugal kind of win. Then quarterfinal. FIFA, if you're watching this, don't tell me the matchmaking that I'm doing is not possible because my lord, this will give you so many views. Argentina versus Brazil, El Clásico de Sudamérica, France versus Portugal, a redo of the 2016 final. These will stop the world on its track. Now, logically, as a man of football and as a man of emotion and narrative, I would give my left nut to see this final because I would like to see Messi versus Ronaldo in a World Cup final. Is the GOAT final? Is the Pele Maradona that we never got? Is the final that we will go into our bet that just saying like, I'll watch Messi and Ronaldo in a World Cup final, and that was what decided the GOAT debate. Bro, I would give my left nut for it. And of course, me as being a Madrid fan, I would like this to be the outcome. Now, if I'm being honest, I don't think this will be the final that we're gonna get. I would love it to happen, but I feel this is gonna be the actual final. So I'm gonna do two predictions here. Again, this is the final that I want. And if it comes down to this playing styles, I'm gonna use the same rule of thumb that I said here that I used with Germany Portugal. If Argentina has the like, let's say that this game is the same as if we had this final again from 2014. Messi, Higuain, and Palacio, they all missed their chances. Germany only needed one, which was the Mario Götze the Mario Götze shot, right? This right here is the same situation as here. Argentina has to be on point. Messi has to be able to finish. Lautaro Martinez has to finish. Di Maria or whoever's up front, Dybala, whoever's up front has to be clinical to win. Because if not, it's gonna take Joao Felix one chance. It's gonna take Cristiano Ronaldo to get one chance. And also, if it's a final against Argentina, you know Ronaldo is gonna look like a 27-year-old for 90 minutes just because it's gonna be like that's the kind of mentality he has. Same thing with Messi. We're gonna see one of the best performances for the both of them. But again, Argentina will keep the ball, will pass it around and everything. They're gonna get chances. If their strikers and their players are not clinical, we're gonna see Joao Felix, we're gonna see Ronaldo, we're gonna see Bernardo Silva, so someone getting the chance and score the one chance and win. That's how I think it will go. Again, like whoever wins here is just it just depends on the game. I will feel like more than likely just because I've seen it happen too much. I will say Portugal wins it, and then Argentina will have to play the perfect game to be the winners, or finish their chances to win the game, but I feel like it's more likely that Portugal wins it. With the narrative, I'm telling you, with the expectations and everything that I feel could happen. But this is the final that I think will happen. Now, do we feel, because this is pretty much the best defense available versus the best attack available. We're talking about Vinicius, Neymar, Gabriel Jesus, and Rafinha versus Lucas Hernandez, Kunde, Rafael Varane, Ferland Mendy, and Hugo Lloris. And Chouameni up front of CDM. What do you pick? Do you pick the unstoppable object in Brazil or the immovable object in France? In my mind, defense wins you tournaments and attack wins you games. Doesn't matter that Brazil can score 3, 4 goals per game. If they're not able to score, and France only needs to win by 1 goal, and they have the freaking ace of their sleeve of having Mbappe, who will be in a back-to-back final of the World Cup, and Benzema, who is currently the Ballon d'Or favorite. It's probably gonna win the Ballon d'Or, but follow my track here. It's probably gonna be on the same thing. And if he comes back from the international break with a good injury or back from his injury, he starts catching up the same rhythm that he had before of last season. Track history will tell you that this will be a back-to-back World Cup win for France. Do I think Brazil has an absolute chance? Absolutely. With Casemiro, Fabinho, Lucas Paqueta behind, or Neymar as a cam, Vinicius Jr., Gabriel Jesus, and Rafinha or Rodrigo on the right wing, or Anthony on the right wing, they have so much flair and so much attack that you could easily have an argument for both. I'm going to go with my logic that France is going to go back to back. Like I told you at the beginning of the video, even with the groups and everything, I still feel France is too stacked, is too deep, and they have the experience to do it. But a South American team is very due. It's very due. We haven't seen a South American winner ever since 2002, I believe, when it's the last time Brazil won it. But then again, this is the final that I want, and again, I already did my theory about it. But if you guys made it to the end of the video, I appreciate you very much. It really helps me out. If you want, go ahead and subscribe, drop a like, leave me a comment down below, and let me know who your favorite and prediction is to win it. But until then, I'll see you next time. Peace.